Hey, everybody, especially if you're a Disney cast member that lives in Central Florida, we want you to stay tuned because we're going to give you some really great insight on how you can buy a home, stop paying rent, and still be within a reasonable driving time to get to work. Stay tuned. Now, the fairy godmother of real estate's next choice is a location that's in Davenport in a very nice gated community with lots and lots and lots of amenities. And it too is a very affordable price point. This one is only $449,000. Under $450,000, you're going to be able to have this home that's actually owned by the conductor of the BeeGees. Do you remember Staying Alive? Remember a lot of those songs? He's also worked for Frank Sinatra, with Darius Rucker. And actually, when you walk in this one-story home, you're going to see the platinum records that he's been involved with, Barbara Streisand. So it's got a really good vibe in this house. The house has got over 2,000 square feet, all on one floor. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, plus a den. So if you wanted to make that into another bedroom, you could. But it is super well done. And I wanted to show you, we also did pricing in case. I know there's a lot of Disney cast members out there and people that are looking for primary homes and wondering if you can afford to be in these locations. So I can share with you, if you want something really nice on a golf course, having a golf course membership, having access to wonderful swimming pools, those lazy river type of things, tennis courts, bars, restaurants. Well, Stony Brook South is going to be something you're going to want to look at. So I'm going to read off the numbers, but if it was $449,000 and I'm working off of if you have 20% down. Now, once again, if you don't have 20% down, don't fret. Call me, 407-808-9845. We'll see if there's a possible loan where you only put 3.5% down. And then don't worry about that. Okay, but if you were to put 20% down, the monthly payment for your principal and interest on this property would only be $2,270 per month. That's very low. Now, with this area, because of all the great amenities, your HOA is higher, but they're taking care of the lawn. You're being able to have access to golf. You have access to swimming pools, all this, the gated community. It does pop that price up higher to $3,843 a month. So this is a certain type of buyer who's saying, I really want to unwind maybe after work or have as a vacation home. It's not short-term vacation, but you could buy this and rent it out for a year at a time if you want. But if you really want to feel like you are on vacation and you have luxury, 1307 Moss Creek Lane in Davenport, that zip code is 33896. So let's say, this is why I'm saying this is the probably best time, Disney cast members and anybody else that this might apply to buy a house right now. Why? Because I am typically able to go to a seller now and ask them, I could say, hey, your price is this. Normally you're going to get within 3% of what you're asking because we're not in a bidding war right now, right? People are getting good prices, but we're not seeing bidding wars. You don't want to see a bidding war because if it's a bidding war, you got to typically be a cash buyer and that can come back and we don't want that to come back. So you get me to write a contract for you, and instead of potentially asking for 3% off of that sales price, I might be asking 3% towards your closing cost. And usually a seller will say, that sounds reasonable to me. I was hoping to get this certain net, usually about 97%, not always. But that money, because typically as a buyer, you're going to have 3% of closing costs. Those are monies that are affiliated with paying for your loan, that type of thing. There's going to be some governance type of things that you pay for as well. Those are things that usually you get surprised by. You're like, I didn't know about that. Well, it's coming. It happens on every deal. A standard person going in would try to put 20% down because there's something called private mortgage insurance. But a lot of times young people or people that have been dedicated to a job where maybe the salary is not that high have not been able to save 20%. So if I can get you into a loan with only 3% or 3.5% down, and I can find a lender that will help pay that. You're going to pay that back if you ever go to close, but typically you don't have any interest on that. So they're basically giving you found money. Now you have to be a first-time home buyer. That means somebody who hasn't owned anything for 3 years. So if you've been renting, or maybe you bought something before and you sold it and you've been renting for 3 years, first-time home buyer. So we have all kinds of great lenders that have incredible systems that is outside of the box right now. It's magical. It's bibbidi bobbidi boo magical. And so that's why I'm saying there's a sense of urgency. Call before we start going into bidding wars. Call me so that we can start talking to some of these sellers about helping you pay towards your closing cost. And then let's say if you happen to have some cash. I was in a strategic meeting with a finance guy the other day, and he said he even recommends that people still get a loan that's like 3.5%, even if you have the 20%. And he said what he encourages then is for that person to take that extra cash and then pay down after the fact, because you're getting potentially a lower interest rate sometimes. And so if you can pay it down, or if you've ever heard me say, always try to make one more mortgage payment per year. If you do that, that can reduce your mortgage time from 30 years down, take 7 years off of that, right? So if you're able to have secured enough money, then maybe what I would recommend is still do the system that I'm talking about, but then pay that extra payment at the end of the year or at some point in the year, so that you're paying that principal down. And also remember, when you're a tenant, when you are paying rent, you're paying your landlord's mortgage, right? And so when we own a home and we have interest rate, we can write that off on our taxes, right? A portion of that can be written off in our taxes. There's so many things that are affiliated with the American dream of owning your own home, not having to move every year. Think about all the costs that you've had if you've had to have movers, packing, just the stress of it. Just the beauty of being able to maybe even hang a sign near Disney on a wall because we own this house, right? This paint color is a paint color that we chose because we love this vibe, right? So I just encourage you, please call me, text me. I'll get you in touch with myself or my Realtor Dream Team. They are all very well versed on that. Watch us on Near Disney YouTube channel and learn more. We have over 800 videos. Please share that with your friends, with your family, with young people that feel like they're stuck and they can't move out of their parents' place. Now is the time to do it. It's good news. It's good news, okay? So I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys once again on Monday nights. We have a show dedicated to Celebration, Florida. That's where our office is located, and that's where my family lives. On Wednesday nights, my Realtor Dream Team does a show about what's going on in the 25-mile radius around Cinderella Castle, because it is truly a magical place to live here. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's Castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.